everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adam. This is Thursday, but this will be coming out on Friday, which means it's a Friday Sews video. And I wanted to start off today's video with something a little bit different to normal. So, as some of you know, we have two Boston Terriers, Luna and Dobby. I will show you them in a minute. Luna is already coming to say hello. So, we used to have... before we got Luna, we had another Boston Terrier called Squidge, and she unfortunately had to be put to sleep when she was 5 because she suffered from multiple seizures in a 24-hour period because she had a bleed on her little brain, which was pretty traumatising, and that was the reason for Darren going and getting Luna for me without me knowing, and brought her home as a surprise after doing a 13-hour round trip to go and collect her from a breeder. So besides that, just before we lost Squidge, I had been playing around with some air dry clay and different things, and I just want to show you something. So, as I was saying, I was playing around with some air dry clay. She sits on top of her little box here that she's in. And I made this little air dry clay version of Squidge. And the funny thing is in the house, we've got orchids that have been purchased for us by friends and family. And this little statue of Squidge sits next to this lovely orchid here, which is from the lovely Claire from Stitch Hem. So she bought it for us as a moving in present when she popped around when we first moved in, and it has flowered again. This chicken's from Portugal, a neighbour bought us that. So we've got this beautiful flower that's come up, and we don't have much luck with flowers on orchids, but it's popped up. But she was in the kitchen up until a couple of weeks ago, which is when we moved her in here, and it's flowered, which is bizarre, but I'm going to show you the kitchen. In our kitchen, we have one up here, which she wasn't sat anywhere near, which obviously hasn't flowered, but the one that she was sat next to is this one here, and it's flowered. Now, I'm going to spin the camera back around. I am convinced that they are flowering because the little statue of her was sat next to them, and you could call me ridiculous, but my husband said to me the other day, he said, you know that orchid that was in the kitchen that Squidge was sat next to? And I said, yes. And he said, it's flowered. And I said, yeah, I know. We was talking about it the other day. And he said, have you realised that since she was moved from the kitchen to the living room where she sat next to the other orchid, that orchid's flowered? So I'm now a bit puzzled as to whether I move her to another orchid and test the theory. What do you think? Or am I just being completely ridiculous? But it's a nice thought anyway, and I just thought I'd share that with you because it was something that happened this week and it was a bit bizarre. So yeah, on to the sewing. I'll be back with you in a moment. So I am back in my sewing room. It is now Friday. I have had a headache all afternoon, so I have barely done anything today, but I just wanted to go through a few things that I got up to today and over the rest of the week and catch up with everything else that's been happening. So last weekend, we spent most of the weekend driving my parents, some of the contents of my parents' house over to storage because they are moving from Surrey over to Essex. So we moved some of their stuff because my husband drove a big lorry for them, and we moved it over to some storage over in Colchester, I believe. Chelmsford or Colchester, I can't remember, one of the two. But while we were there, we arrived 2 hours early, me and my sister. Oh my goodness, she scared the life out of me. Luna, what are you doing grunting like that? I'll probably just leave that in. So yeah, we moved some stuff over there, and while we were there, because we were there so early, we had to go and kill some time. So we were sort of walking in towards the high street because the guy at the storage place said, oh, it's only a 10-minute walk, you can leave your car here, then you don't have to pay for parking, which was the right result. So we thought, we'll walk into the town centre, and then I suddenly thought to myself, I'm sure there's a Franklin's in this town. And lo and behold, we was a 6-minute walk away. So we went into Franklin's, and I picked up some teal blue ribbing that they had by the metre. So I picked up a metre of that because I wanted it to match my fabric that I got from Make Fabric Boutique while I was at Plymouth Frock Towels, so that I had some matching teal ribbon to go with the sweatshirt fabric that I bought. So I was really happy that I had that in there. So I had that. So I grabbed that while I was in there. I also grabbed some some rainbow rectangle rings. I grabbed 10 of these because I use them all the time, and they're not as easy to get hold of, so I grabbed some of those while I was in there. I probably should have grabbed more, but great ideas and all of that. And then I managed to bump into Lawrence, who is the owner of Franklin's. Such a lovely guy. He is who runs all of the UK ambassadors for the UK and everything, and he's sort of done a double take, and he was like, what are you doing here? Because obviously he knows that I live nowhere near there, and I told him what was going on, and we was chatting away and different things like that, and he said that they'd done some upgrades to the wayliner. So for those of you that don't know, there's a video on my YouTube channel called What is a Wayliner, and it tells you all about what a wayliner is, and how you can use it, and how you can, just the basic knowledge basically of what a wayliner is. It's industrial technology, and they've basically created a version of it so that you can use for a domestic machine. It's great for inserting waistbands, neckbands, elastic casings, all different things like that, because it stretches out the garment so that you can sew it on basically without having to sort of like stretch it as you go. So it's really good. I think it would also probably be really, really good for shearing as well, because you would be able to actually set the fabric at the maximum width, so you can just sew straight lines round and round and round, and I think it would make it a lot easier for shearing, because you wouldn't have to keep stretching the fabric out once you've done a row of shearing. So for that reason, I think it'd be very, very handy. But they've done some upgrades. So they've popped on these quick release handles now that you can buy the upgrades for your wayliner. So if you have purchased a wayliner from them, you can buy the upgrades. So there's quick release handles on there now, so that you don't have to adjust the rollers with a Allen key. And even if you own a wayliner, so obviously if you buy a wayliner now, these come as standard with it, but if you own the previous model of wayliner, you can, I think it's only about £10, and you get the upgrade pack to swap all over the handles and different things. So you get these little quick release ones with the buttons on it, which will make using it so much quicker. So yeah, I'm really excited to get those switched over on my one. I just need to dig it out of the corner of my room, because it's not been out, because I haven't made anything that I've used it for in such a long time, because all I've done is bag make and patchwork. So yeah, that's pretty much all that happened this week. I have, however, spent the whole morning at Horsham Quilters Guild giving a talk about how I come up with pattern ideas and different things like that, how you can incorporate quilting into bag making, how it's a transferable skill and different things like that. So I had a lovely time this morning with a lovely group of ladies, talking to them about my sewing journey, about how I develop bag patterns and different things like that. So that was absolutely fantastic. I will try and insert some pictures here of me standing there gabbing away to other people, and that's about it really. There is one other thing that turned up this week, which is part of Full Moon Forest. So my shipment of Full Moon Forest has been delayed, as has lots of people's around the world and in the UK. There are some businesses that have it already, and for anyone that has pre-ordered, I apologise profusely. It is completely out of my hands. There has been a shipment delay on one of the suppliers that gets into the UK, and it just so happens to be that is my supplier. So I have, however, managed to bag some of the owls, because I had a panic the other day, and I thought, I don't think I've ordered enough. I think I'm going to need more for myself. And one of the reasons why I wanted more of the owls as well is because I want to make pillowcases for my side of the bed and my husband's side of the bed. One pink, one blue, because I think it will look fantastic with my Tudor quilt that's on the bed, which contains pretty much every colour you can think of. So I thought I would just share with you, oh sorry Luna, I didn't mean to scare you, the bolts of Full Moon Forest owls have turned up. So at the moment, this will not be shipping because the rest of the collection isn't here yet. It's aimed to be here within the next 2 weeks. If it's any longer than that, I will update you weekly. As soon as I get updates, I will let you know, and I apologise again for any delays on shipment. The day that it arrives, it will be cut, packed and shipped 24-hour post to anyone that has pre-ordered it. Whether that means that I'm up until 4 o'clock in the morning, it will go the day that I receive it. So yeah, we have Hootie Patootie, which you've all seen in the pink colourway on my channel before from the Circle of Makers that I made. And then we also now have the blue colourway, which is just, I mean, this is just the most gorgeous blues. It's unbelievable. And I'm so excited because I've got fabric on the new Tulip Pink bolts, which all of the bolts are hot pink with white polka dots on them. So they stand out so well on the shelf now as Tulas, because she's repackaged all of her bolts with the pink, and then all of her swing tags and everything else now on her pre-cut bundles and stuff like that are pink as well as the belly bands around the layer cakes and charm packs. So yeah, I'm super excited that they're on them pink bolts now. So I am going to have to do, in preparation of the rest of it arriving, I'm going to have to do some serious juggling around with this wall and that wall, and I'm going to basically destash pretty much all of my garment fabric, I think, because it's the only way that I'm going to be able to get the endless amount of bolts that are turning up. So I think in total I've got about another 36 bolts coming to add to these two beauties that are here. So yeah, super excited about that. Again, apologies for any delay that's on there. If anyone has placed a pre-order and has any questions, feel free to email me. I am more than happy to answer any questions. As I say, it will go out as soon as I receive it. And thank you again for pre-ordering. As I said last week, grey work is available for pre-order now. If there is any bundles that anyone is after that are not 1 metre bundles and they would wish to pre-order certain quantities of certain fabrics, just drop me an email. I can put you on a pre-order list and I can break it down into the quantities that you want, instead of doing it as a 1 metre bundle or a fat quarter bundle or anything like that. So yeah, I'm super excited that I've got some of it, but a little bit disappointed that the rest of it isn't here yet. But yeah, I will talk to you all soon. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. I will catch up with you next week, if not before. And I am going to go now, have a little rest, because I am off to Essex tomorrow morning to help Mum and Dad clean the new house, because it is not up to the standards that we like. So I'll leave it there and I will speak to you all soon. Talk to you probably next Friday. I hope maybe I'll get another video in before, who knows. Ciao for now.